Okay, I see the little red light blinking, so that means it's recording. So wonderful, so great to have you, Shelley, and for those that are going to jump on later, and then those that are on the phone, welcome, because I know you may or may not be able to see us on the video. So happy to have you here, and I'm thrilled to introduce Shelley and our other special guest that will be revealed later on our call tonight. We're going to be talking about past life regression for some of you that are interested and curious about that. Shelley is a regressionist, and she's going to be sharing a little bit more about what that all is and how that has, helped her particular clients that she served, and how that could possibly help you on your journey. And also, we're going to talk about the Mount Shasta experience that she and I are going to be co-creating together at the end of the month, starting June the 20th, which is a Thursday.
I am not going up the mountain in January.
No, in fact, it'd probably be closed at that time because it's filled with snow. But no, so at the end of June, so June the 27th through the 30th, so that's a Thursday through a Sunday. So we're going to be talking more about that and what that whole experience is going to be. And for those of you that are interested, we want you to jump on and or jump on the registration to join us, because we're taking a small group. And once you experience some of Shelley's magic tonight, you're going to want to be part of this, because we're going to be doing some fun stuff on the mountain. And those who've never been to Mount Shasta or have never experienced the really powerful energy and the really sacredness of that mountain, you're going to be very surprised and very humbled and very thrilled and happy, and you're going to come back completely transformed and changed, because every single time I go to that mountain, I always come back different than before, and it keeps working on me. So like I have a real strong connection to Mount Shasta from the very first time I went, which was almost, I think now 20 years ago. So I'll be sharing a little bit about a interesting experience that I had where I was actually, a past life was revealed to me at that time. That was just mind-blowing. So I'll be sharing that in a little bit. So anyway, why don't we start with some intros for those that are going to watch the recording later. So for those that don't know me, Linda Galvan, I am a transformational facilitator. I work mainly with women and some men, and I help people transform from where they are now, which is usually stuck in some area of their life, and then helping them get unstuck and realign to really what their higher purpose is and their higher authentic expression in this life is. Usually that includes some type of creativity. It includes them aligning more deeply to what their real soul calling is. And so I use all kinds of fun, magical tools to assist clients in that process. And I know Shelley has lots of magical tools. She does the same with her clients as well. So Shelley, do you want to share a little bit about kind of what you do and how you work with your clients, or anything having to do with whatever?
Sure. Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on this call and inviting me to join in this fun retreat that you're putting together. I'm so excited for what's in store for everyone. Yeah. My background is I do a lot of past life regression work with certain clients, kind of depending where you are in your journey. We do a lot of work in the intra-life space, so really understanding that life between lives. And helping you gain further clarity and purpose coming into this life. So past life, I do several other, healing modalities. I have monthly healing circles, etc. But really, for all intents and purposes, we're focusing on that tonight. So that's what I want to be able to share a little bit about. Most of my clients I work with remotely. I am in California, so I do have a handful of clients that I see in person, but most of them I work with remotely. We don't have to be in the same place or same space to be able to connect and for me to facilitate that journey for you. So that's a really fun part, that I can work with people from literally all over the world without having to travel all over like I did in my prior corporate career like a crazy person.
That's always very convenient, isn't it?
Right. It's a tough commute from upstairs to downstairs in my house.
Right, exactly. No, but that's I think that, in the near future, more and more people are going to, get the clue that there's other ways that we can communicate that are also very powerful and very effective. And one of those ways, as you said, is remotely, because I do the same thing. I work with clients all over They don't have to be here in person. I work with mainly over the phone, sometimes over things like this, like Zoom, but I don't even need to actually visually see the person. I can just tune
No.
energy and work with them, which is
I always laugh because so many people want to use Zoom and have the video so it's face to face, but usually my eyes are closed 80% of the time, and so is the client. I'm like, well, if you want to record it, that's fine, but
exactly.
we really just need the phone space.
I'm the same way. My eyes are closed most of the time anyway, because I just need to like kind of tune out all the noise,
Right?
Go into just really tune into the deeper energy that's there. So yeah, you and I work very similarly in a lot of ways. So I think what I want to do now is, why don't we talk a little about what exactly is past life regression?
Absolutely.
And how you, in just your practice, how you've noticed it change people. Like, what has been the benefits of someone having like a past life regression session? Like, what have you seen that has really helped people kind of shift or change or whatever? Like, why did they come to you in the first place, and what you saw change from this whole thing? Because some people may not believe that there's a past life. So
right. So it's definitely a journey, and I have some people go, oh, well, I'm not sure I believe that that's true. It's like, okay, well, it's a personal choice to believe it or to not to believe it, to have the experience, to not have the experience. So my role working with clients isn't really to convince you. Either you're open to that or you're not open to that. I think is the first piece. So for me, I really started doing past life regression work as a client several years ago because I have this overwhelming fear of water. Like, I love the water, but I am terrified of drowning. And so, even as a kid, I always said, if I didn't know better, you would think I had drowned, because I've never had a bad water experience in this life. It's totally an irrational fear. When I lived in Phoenix, I had a swimming pool in my house because I love sitting out there, having my feet in the pool. I'll get in the pool. Like, having to swim is just out of the question. And so it was really kind of this crazy journey that it's knowing that it was an irrational fear of mine, and how do we work through that? And so I worked with someone, went back and actually found at least 3 lifetimes where I had drowned.
Oh, wow.
And so one of them was very specific. It was in a flood, and the water came out of nowhere, came up like, flash floods in the middle of what I would say today is somewhere Spain, Italy, that geography. So that's one of the challenges when you do a past life regression and you try to find out where in the world you were 500, 700 years ago. Our conscious brain knows the globe as it appears today, right? But it wasn't exactly the same as it is today.
Yes.
So I would say, for me, if I was to look at that geography, I was somewhere in that Mediterranean area. We were in a small village. A flash flood came up out of nowhere and wiped out the whole village.
Wow.
So I can remember being probably 14, 15, 16, somewhere in that area, that age group, being in the car, coming home, probably from the store, and it was, raining. The roads were filling with water, and my mother was driving, and the water was coming up onto the road, and I had an absolute panic attack in the car.
Wow.
I would I really think I would take you somewhere if it wasn't safe. I mean, right? Like, a typical mother-daughter conversation, right?
Right.
But when I went back and did this work, it was like this aha moment, right? Because it's like, oh, no wonder that was such a trigger for me. I mean, here's water rising up out of nowhere. It's dark. It's, all these factors.
Yeah.
So for me, being able to understand that and then clear that out. So, it's not like I'm going to go out and swim in the open waters of the Pacific Ocean today.
Right.
But I don't have this it's like, okay, well, we're fine. I'm going to choose not to do that, but it's not that debilitating fear.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So that's really where my personal journey with it started, and I started doing more work and research and it's kind of really diving in and experimenting and going down that road.
Wow.
What I've seen clients clear and do and transform has been equally as amazing, because there are so many, most of my clients are women.
Yeah.
The vast majority of them are self-employed.
Wow.
It's mostly entrepreneurs I work with. I have a strong business background. And so, the work that I do is a combination of healing, but also business. So I work with a lot of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So the number one thing that I clear for people are abundance blocks.
Ah, nice.
Money blocks, client blocks, these deep-seated beliefs, because in a previous lifetime, maybe you lived in poverty and you have a vow of poverty that you brought forward.
Right.
Maybe you had wealth and you're here to experience not having wealth to make restitution for something you did in a previous lifetime.
Wow. Not fun.
Right? And it's really fun for me because no two sessions are ever the same, right? Because of what you're doing is so personalized, so individual, so unique. But the outcome is so profound for people. Whether it's lifestyle and being able to have clarity to be able to get the roadblocks out of the way and call in what it is you're creating. For other people, it's about relationships, family dynamics, understanding that we're typically part of a family group.
Yes.
And we tend to reincarnate with similar people every lifetime. Not always the same people in the same roles.
Right.
We tend to reincarnate within a family group. So knowing that, you can understand different dynamics and things and relationships, because, maybe if you're looking at you and your daughter,
yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you see, a child that acts more like the parent. Well, maybe in 3 lifetimes that person was the parent.
Exactly.
And you were the child.
Yeah.
Because we reincarnate in different bodies, male, female, different geographies, different races, for whatever reason at this time, I chose in this lifetime to be a white woman born in North America in this century.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had a lifetime as a boy as an Aborigine in Africa.
Right.
Right. So we've had all these different experiences that we continue, as the soul develops and evolves, continue to build on. So, it's hard to say, oh, this is what I'm going to get out of it.
Yeah.
Because it really is so unique and so different and so profound. Some people are just interested in doing it because they want the experience.
Right.
Like, oh, it's going to be a very light session because I just want to see a glimpse of what my past lives look like.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Other people are very specific in this is what I'd like to heal. And so we're going to go in looking for the root cause of that. And then that's going to be a very different session.
That makes a lot of sense.
With setting this up to go up to Mount Shasta, my belief is that this group that's going to be there, the work we do will be very specific to lifetimes and interactions every single one of us has had on that mountain.
Yes, that feels very, very real, because I had a similar situation last year when I was at Mount Shasta for another retreat, where everyone that ended up showing up on that retreat had some role that they had played, in a Lemurian lifetime. After the fall of Lemura, when they ended up in Shasta, because there's this whole kind of story about how after the fall, the Lemurians went to Shasta, into the inside of the mountain, those who survived. And so this takes me to the experience that I had almost 20 years ago, when I was actually, for the first time I'd gone to Mount Shasta. I was at a retreat with actually James Van Prague. Many people know him. He's a very famous psychic. He and Michael Tamura, they were having a retreat together, and it was a small one. I mean, literally, it was a really small one, very intimate. So I got to, be up close and personal with James and Michael, and it was really, they had a lot of deep healing work that was done over those maybe 4 or 5 days that we were there. And one evening, they had invited a guest to come who channels through his playing harp. So he plays harp, and in the process of playing the harp, he activates these energies where you literally regress and you go into, other lifetimes during the whole process of him playing. And so he sets the intention, and then wherever you're supposed to go in your regression, you will go so that you can learn whatever it is you need to learn, and then you come back.
Right.
So they turn the lights down, and he starts playing this beautiful, I love the harp, and he was just playing this beautiful harp music, and I was just literally going out. I was like, whoa, this is just amazing. And then all of a sudden, I see these two angelic type beings that come into the room, and they literally pick my light body up out of my physical body, and they fly me into the inside of the mountain, Mount Shasta. And I'm like, whoa. So here I am being flown into, my light body being flown into the inside of the mountain, and they sit me on a throne. And so here I am, I'm in the body of this woman, this queen, and they say to me, you were the queen after the fall of Lemuria, and only 24,000 survived. And so here I am sitting on this throne, and they place a baby in my arms, the first baby to be born after the fall. And there's all these people, and they're all like bowing with their heads to the ground. And I'm sitting there, and I am overwhelmed. And I can't even describe the feeling. It was beyond just the grief, the sadness, the overwhelm, also the hope of, the new life that I'm carrying in my arms. And it was amazing. Hello, Dace, glad to have you here. So anyway, so here I am holding this baby, and I'm like, what is all this? And so, I'd never had an experience like that in my life. So I sense this whole thing, and then they pick my light buddy up out of that queen's body, and then bring me right back into the room. And then I'm like, did that just happen? Did I have a dream?
Right.
What was that? And so for years, I'd had no idea what all that was. I just thought that was an interesting past life regression experience. I didn't know if it was true or not. I was just like, yeah, that sounds a little outlandish. Because at the time I wasn't doing this kind of work. I was just, doing my own personal healing work. And that's why I had gone to this retreat. So let's fast forward, okay, to last year at the retreat that I attended. Would you believe that whole scene came up again? This time I'm in the kitchen with some of the people that were part of the retreat, and they all played parts and lived after the fall. And so they all had certain parts that they played as members of either the royal family or whatever. And I was like, are you kidding me? And so we did this whole powerful constellation to heal some deep part of me that was afraid to step forward and take responsibility for leading large masses of people in healing. And so it was a huge shift for me. And all of a sudden, that experience I had over 20 years ago, all of a sudden made sense. It was profound. So when you're at Shasta, you're going to have some really profound experiences. Downloads, channeling becomes very easily when you're these higher elevations and this higher vibration. So we're going to be playing around with doing some channeling. So everybody's going to bring journals, because we're going to do some fun channeling on the mountain. And if you've never channeled before, you will, I promise. Once we get on the mountain and we open up that energy and we clear out any blocks you might have, you're going to be able to actually receive direct messages. So I'm very excited about, that fun little part. But yeah, that was one of my first very profound experiences with a past life that was shown to me that had significance, but at the time I didn't know what it meant. I literally had to grow into the significance of what that experience was. So I know that there's definitely some power in having certain past life memories, come forward, because all of a sudden, like with you, it just made sense. Oh, that's why I have this ridiculously, terrifying, response to water, even though I've never had any bad experiences with water in my life. So that might explain, I've had clients sometimes in session, just like you, where there's nothing in this lifetime that would explain some of the troubles that they're having. And so what will happen in those situations with me is sometimes I'll actually get shown, just like you, like a a glimpse of another time period, and I'll go, oh, this sounds like this isn't from this lifetime. This is something that's either from a past life or something generational you're holding for your family that occurred, that is actually gotten triggered.
Right.
And then once that is cleared, then all of a sudden that situation just starts to dissolve. It's not as extreme as you said. I mean, it's not so debilitating. Now they can actually function. So anyway.
I think the other powerful part that comes through for a lot of people, especially in healing, is that typically we've all had a past life living through the very negative repercussions of being a healer, of being a witch, of being whatever, however you want to term it, whatever it was you were doing.
Yes.
So I think that's the other big piece. And, you know, I don't know the other people on the call if you have a healing background or not, but that's come through time and time again, particularly in this field. So depending on who's being called to come together with us, you know, we may see different things, we may see different patterns. It may be that all of us has a thread connecting us.
Exactly.
Right. So I know it'll be starting to unravel itself now.
Exactly. So we'll know when we get there how this is all going to play itself out. And you know, those that I feel are going to be called to this Shasta experience, there is something about an important past life or lives that needs to be revealed in order for something big to shift in their life. That maybe it's a pattern they've been struggling with forever, and they've done maybe lots of healing, and they're not quite sure what else to do. and it may be that this is one of those last pieces that once it gets revealed and then shifted and cleared, all of a sudden it's like now they can step into that next level. So I know that the experience in Shasta is definitely going to be a soul transformation type of experience for those who decide to experience this journey with us, for sure, because I do feel that there's going to be some big shifts deeply for those who are going to be a part of the group. So I'm excited about that. So let's see here. We have, I think, 2 people on either the phone or somehow they're here. Dave's here, and I think that might be Marnie, I'm not sure, on the phone. So what we can do right now, and I know there's other people that couldn't be on live, that texted me that they're definitely wanting to watch the recording. So what I was thinking we could do is maybe both of us, Shelley, tune in. Oh, here we have another person coming on. There we go. Having us tune into the energy that's here concerning past life. And I know you mentioned earlier the blocks around money. I know that's a big one for a lot of people. I'm wondering if I have some blocks around money and prosperity. That's a big theme for the whole year, actually, of 19. Is that if you're not experiencing certain types of prosperity or abundance, then more than likely, definitely there's some blocks going on of some sort. So that's one possible direction I'm sensing. I already actually feel energy already moving into the whole group of those who are either going to be there or who are thinking about it. Is there anything that you're picking up as a focus so that we can do like a type of we could do a group regression, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, we can go down that road. I think focusing on abundance, whether it's, well, for most people, most of us, it's financial abundance, but I think abundance in general opens that up.
Okay.
With a group and in the time that we have. So usually for me to do a full regression, we're talking 60 to 90 minutes. So we'll do a very quick, clear.
I agree. Absolutely.
Or we'll be here all night. So that probably won't work for everyone either.
Exactly. Well, that sounds fun. Okay, everybody, we're going to do some clearings on abundance that may be connected to past life experiences. So for those that may have jumped on a little late, Shelley, do you want to just give a quick little, what is past life regression and how you work with it, just so that they're clear? Okay.
So I'm going to just take you through a very brief, tonight it'll probably be about maybe, 15 minutes, so we're not to respect everyone's time. So know that this is, kind of like the tip of the iceberg. But we're going to just quickly ground and clear ourselves and go back. And I'm going to ask for each person to be revealed one lifetime where they can see something in the way of their abundance. So, I don't want to give too many parameters because I don't want to lead you in a direction.
Right.
But typically you'll have had a lifetime maybe where you did have, it could be either side of that, right? Where you were very poor and you have money, and so you don't know how to have money in this lifetime. Or it could be the reverse of that, where I've seen people where they were extremely wealthy or their families were extremely wealthy but didn't treat people well. So they've chosen not to live this life in that format. It can be a whole lot of different things.
Yes.
When I say abundance, if there's something in your life other than financial abundance that you feel more connected to. So I feel like there's someone on the call maybe, or someone that's going to listen to this that maybe it's not money, but abundance is anything, right? So however we want to live. So it could be time, it could be love, it could be joy, it could be whatever that quotient is for you.
Yes.
That signifies abundance in your life. So a lot of people overlap the two, that abundance means money, and that's not true at all.
Exactly. That is any kind of
money's an interesting piece because money has so much power because we've given it that power.
Exactly.
Right? And so we haven't had money for centuries and centuries and centuries as we know it today.
Right. Exactly.
So as you step back and relax and go into this, just think about, what is abundance for you? What is it that you feel maybe, I want more of that, but I can't get there, right? Yeah. And so, for me, it ties strongly back to quality of life.
Right.
And so I think that's where the financial piece comes in, because when you have financial freedom, then you have more quality of life freedom today.
Yes, of course. I like that quality of life. Yeah.
Right. And so just know that piece is going to be different for everybody.
Exactly.
And just let yourself be with it. So I'm going to ask, that just everyone get one quick glimpse, basically, of something, and then that's going to be something, assuming that you're in Shasta, that we can continue to work on in Shasta. If you're not in Shasta and you want to dive into that, then certainly we could set up a time individually.
Exactly.
To hold the space and do that as well. Like I said, most of the time when I do a regression, I allow minimum 60 minutes. Usually I do it in more of a 90-minute interval. By the time people get in their space and settled and come back, it takes a few minutes. Some people meditate all the time, and so when I say ground, they're like, okay, I'm there.
Right.
That's not most of us.
Most of us, it takes a little bit of time for us to ground.
Well, because we've got to get rid of all the stuff that we picked up in the course of our day, right?
Exactly.
We don't get to live in our nice little Zen bubbles 24/7.
Right. True.
Or at least I don't. I don't know. Maybe you do, but I don't.
Exactly. I try, but
I try. No, we were laughing the other day because, I get very annoyed at other drivers when I'm driving and I start going, what the heck? Like I'm, yelling at them from my car, and I'll have a passenger that goes, really? I'm like, oh, you're right. Okay, let me come back to my peaceful center, but I still want to yell at that person.
Right. Zen bubble around the car.
Zen bubble around the car. So I'll quit yelling at passersby for cutting me off.
That's funny.
But that's the truth. I mean, we all of us have so much energy coming at us every day from so many different directions, right? And so it takes more than the blink of an eye to get rid of all that, to clear all of that, and to be able to focus on where you are.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to get into a grounded space with Shelly, and then she's going to take you on a brief journey to and I'm going to set the intention, a significant past life that's associated with lack of abundance or something around not having enough abundance. Maybe there's a particular area of your life right now where you're noticing a lack or a scarcity. It doesn't have to be with money, as we mentioned. It could be in some other area. of your life where you're noticing a lack of abundance. So we're just going to open that energy up and set the intention, and then Shelly's going to walk you through a brief yet powerful process so that you can really have a glimpse of this particular past life that is a key or a clue to you that will help you shift something important, that will align you more truthfully and authentically to the actual abundance you were born with. So I'm just going to set that intention, and I'm also holding an energy here along with Shelly as she does her process. So if there's any information I get during the process, I'll share that with you afterwards. So Shelly, passing it on to you.
So hopefully everyone is in a comfortable spot and in a safe space. No one's calling in driving down the road, or this isn't going to work for you if you're on the go doing it. So I'm going to just put that little disclaimer out there.
Don't be driving, please.
So I'd like you to just take, however, if you're sitting, laying down, whatever's comfortable for you, close your eyes and take a couple deep cleansing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And then I want you to imagine yourself getting up and heading out your front door. And there's this magnificent car waiting outside for you, any kind of car you want, your dream car. You can even have a chauffeur if you'd like, but you're gonna slip right into this car. And you're gonna just start heading down the road. And you're gonna be headed to your favorite beach. And it's a magical car, so if your favorite beach isn't close, it's just going to be able to zoom you right towards where your favorite beach is. And when you pull up to your beach, there's the perfect parking spot just waiting for you. And as you step out of the car and look down on the beach, you're going to notice that it's just absolutely the perfect weather. The sun, the clouds, the air. The perfect beach day, and yet you have the entire beach to yourself. It's just waiting there for you. And as you start to walk across the sand and feel the sand in your toes, out in the distance in front of you is a blanket all set up with a beach chair for you where you can just sit down and get comfortable and relax. And the sound of the waves just washes away any stress, any worry, any junk you picked up during the course of the day. And as you sit there, we're going to have Archangel Michael come in, and he's going to clear you and cut all the cords around you to anyone else you've been interacting with, thinking about in their energy field. So he's going to cut all your cords and attachments, so you're totally free and clear. And then we're going to clear all of your chakras. So we're going to start with your root chakra. So your root chakra is going to be down at the base of your tailbone. And you are going to imagine at the end of your tailbone a stem coming out and going down deep into the earth, as deep as you can into the center core of the earth. And a red rosebud is going to open up off the end of that, anchoring you into the earth and breathing out that Gaia energy from Mother Earth back all the way up into your root chakra. You'll take another deep breath And we're going to clear your sacral chakra. So your sacral chakra is located in your pelvic floor, like right below your belly button through your pelvic area. And you're going to imagine this stream of water like a fire hose coming in through the front and out through the back. And it's going to blast out any dirt, gunk, debris, blockages, any yuck that's in there until that water just runs clear. When the water runs clear, I want you to imagine beautiful orange healing light just circling in there and filling that cavity, just circling round and round and round, filled with orange light. And you're going to breathe up now into your solar plexus. So your solar plexus is right where your diaphragm is, top of your stomach, bottom of your lungs. And same thing, you're going to take that fire hydrant of water pressure in through the front and out through the back. And clear out anything that's blocking, any self-doubt, anything about your self-worth, confidence. I'm going to just wash it all away until that runs clear. And then you're going to fill that space with beautiful yellow sunlight. And take a deep breath and come up to your middle of your chest where your heart chakra is. And same thing, you're going to take that water in through the front, out through the back, clearing out any grief that might be in your lungs, any sadness, any heartache. If you have a broken heart, we're just going to wash all of the ache and pain from all of that away. When that water runs clear, you're going to fill that with beautiful emerald green light, filling your heart chakra. And then we'll come up to your throat chakra. So again, same thing with that water pressure in through the front, out through the back, getting rid of any blockages, anything that's keeping you from speaking your truth. And then we'll fill your throat chakra with beautiful blue light. And then we'll come up to your third eye, and your third eye starts on your forehead between your eyebrows and goes out to the back of your occiput at a 45-degree angle out to the back of your head. And we're going to flush that out. Create a clear vision for your life. And by clearing this out, it's also going to allow you to see clearly all the messages that are coming to you today. And when that's clear, we're going to fill that with beautiful indigo violet light. And then we'll go up to your crown, which is at the top of your head. And I want you to just imagine your crown being open, completely open to this beautiful white light energy that's coming in from source. And you're going to breathe that in, and you're going to breathe that energy in through your crown, and you're going to go all the way through the center of your body, through your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, and through your root chakra back down into the ground. And then up again from the ground all the way through to your crown chakra. And one more time from source light energy all the way down to Mother Earth Gaia energy and all the way back up. And you'll notice now that your body is absolutely weightless and clear and free. And with that, you're just going to feel yourself or feel your light body float up out of the chair and start walking down the beach. And as you make your way down the beach, you're kind of floating down the beach, really. You'll see some other light beings coming towards you. And one of the light beings that approaches you is going to have a book. And when he hands you the book, you're going to open it to whatever page feels right to you. And as you look at that page and start reading the words on that page, you're going to be taken to a different space and time. And as you step into this space, notice who you are. What is your body like? Are you a man? Are you a woman? Notice your clothing, your shoes. All of these are little glimpses and clues to the time period that you're in. And notice where you are. Take a look around you. Are you alone? Are you with other people? Are you in a home? If you're in a home, what is it like? Is it a hut? Is it a mansion? Do you have a family? If you're in the street or in the forest, just take a minute to just take inventory and take it all in to orient yourself. And you're free to walk around, to wander about, to move around, to interact with people there. To observe what's happening. And what you're looking for is the clue of why you're here. Because there's an element that's blocking abundance from your life. What is it that's being blocked and why? Why are you being shown this lifetime? When you feel that you've seen what you need to see to understand this clue to bring back with you, you'll acknowledge this and you'll step back from the scene and you'll take yourself back to that space on the beach, closing the book that's in your hands. And handing it back to the master being that gave it to you. And so you want to thank him for bringing this to you, but also know that when you let this go and when you clear it, you're not alone, that your guides are with you all the time to support you in the journey that you're on in this lifetime. And so thank your guide with a heartfelt exchange. And when you return the book to him, he's going to hand you a piece of paper that you're going to just put in the palm of your hand and take back with you. You acknowledge each other from your heart space. And your guide begins to descend into the distance. And you start to make your way back down to your beach chair. And once you've had a moment to sit back down, I want you to open that little piece of paper that he put in your hand and notice the word that's written on that piece of paper. You want to keep that word in your conscious mind when you come back. And as you take a moment to reflect on this brief journey, and when you're ready, you'll start making a move to walk back up the beach where your car is still waiting for you. And you'll get in, and just like you got there, you'll quickly make your way all the way back home. And feel yourself coming into your space, coming back into your physical body, wiggling your fingers and toes, and opening your eyes when you're ready to come back to the present moment. I know everyone's muted on the call, but hopefully everyone's back with us.
I was going to say we can unmute in just a moment, so that if you want to share any aspect of their journey or whatever, they can do that. So keep that word in mind that Shelley had mentioned for you to remember as you bring yourself back. And just allow yourself to just kind of get here and be here. You may have received a lot of information. You may have received a little bit of information. There might have been information that you didn't quite make sense of. Just let it be. I keep seeing lots of integration happening for everyone right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not just those of you that are on this call, but there are those who are going to be on this call later. I'm already sensing their energy present. And so they're in the process of integrating. We're just going to honor that integration process for the moment. Okay, so as that's happening, I want to pass this over to Shelley. Is there anything you want to share concerning that experience?
Yeah, I would say, like I said, that was a very brief experience for you, given our where we are tonight. But just know, just allow whatever happened to settle in for you.
Yeah.
It will take time. You may be wondering, well, that doesn't make sense. Why did I see this? What was that? Just be with it. Don't try to unravel it. Don't try to figure it out. And more than likely in the next 24, if you're a person who journals, then I would highly encourage you to take a few minutes after this call to write about your experience and to recap that. And that if you got a word, if you didn't get a word, don't worry about it. It is what it is. But but the word will be significant into your journey, as a message from your guides. So just know whatever you got is what you were intended to receive at this moment in this space and time. And you can always garnish more information later, but just accept it without letting your conscious mind take over too much and try to piece it together and make sense of it. And well, that really happened, did it not, etc. Just accept would be my key for you.
Yes, exactly. No, that's really good. So as that's integrating, we'll come back to everybody who may have some questions in a moment, but as that's integrating, I just wanted to share a little bit more about, how profound this journey is going to be for us as we walk through the forest up the mountain. It's very symbolic, very metaphorical of our journey in life. So know that this transformational experience that we're going to have in Shasta, that is going to combine the gifts of both Shelley and myself and our special guest that we'll introduce in a minute. These beautiful gifts all together are going to assist everybody in being supported to create the soul shifts, the soul transformations that need to happen for you this year so that you can be prepared for the amazing things happening in 2020. So 2019 is a prep year for many of us to really clear off the slates, get rid of stuff that no longer serves us, be finally done with certain patterns that have in the past, made things stop in our life. Hello, Kimberly. And really allow ourselves to be here, be present, and really give our higher gifts authentically. So the Shasta experience is going to be very powerful on so many levels. Everybody's going to have a very deep group experience and also very deep, powerful individual experience. So we're going to open up the lines right now so that people, if they have any particular question concerning the experience we just had with Shelley, great. And if you have specific questions about Mount Shasta as well and the experience that we're going to be doing June the 27th through the 30th. So it'll start on a Thursday, and at 6 o'clock, we're all going to meet at a particular restaurant in Mount Shasta. So get there however you get there. You can fly, you can drive, however you want to do that. And those who register, you're going to get all those details, so no worries. And you will know where to meet at 6 o'clock. We're going to have a meet and greet dinner, and we're going to talk about the agenda for the next coming days. And then on Friday, we're going to start at what's called Bunny Flats at Mount Shasta. That's the lower level of Mount Shasta. And we're going to do a hike up to first camp of Mount Shasta. So those of you that are, if you live here in Texas or you live in places where there's not much elevation, I suggest that you start taking chlorophyll drops in your water. It actually oxygenates your blood so that you're not going to have much of an issue with the elevation when we get to Shasta, because Shasta, the mountain starts at about 7,000 feet. And as we do the climb to first camp, it goes up to 8,000. So there's 1,000-foot hike, so to speak. Now, no, we're not going to need ropes, nothing like that. Now, if you want to bring a little hiking stick of some sort, you can do that too. It really is more the elevation as we're climbing. You're going to be like, whoo, I need some more oxygen. So things kind of slow down a little bit as you're making the climb. But what's so powerful about the experience is that you will have downloads and aha moments and epiphanies just doing this hike. It's really profound. It pretty much does all the work. We're going to have some rituals that we do. We're going to do some, crystal layouts. We're going to have some clearing work that we do while we're there. Definitely some meditative experiences. Everything's going to be in alignment with exactly what the group needs. So just know that both Shelley and I are very good at tuning into group energy and knowing exactly what in the moment is needed. So once we all know who's coming and who's going to this, we'll know exactly what particular experiences to implement into the experience. So Friday is going to be the Bunny Flats going up to first camp. On Saturday, we're going to have lots of fun with Shelley because we're going to move on to the next higher part of the mountain, which is called Panther Meadows. And we're going to, ask the angels to make sure Panther Meadows is open. Sometimes they close it for reforestation, etc. So we're hoping it will stay open so that we can have a simple little next level hike. We're not going to do, it's not going to, the second set, the Saturday is not going to be as much hiking as the Friday. So just know that that will be a little less for us, but we will be higher on the mountain. And there's a lot of beautiful space there for us to have some powerful experiences with some past life regression. We're going to be doing some more kind of what we just did, past life regression group experiences, some more ceremonial type of experiences as well. I don't want to give all the details because that'll just spoil the surprises. So I'm not going to give all those details, but you're going to have everything you need in order to be able to experience the most profound soul shift that you're willing to have. And so then on Sunday, we're going to have a very special time at the Amma Gardens. So if you've never experienced the Amma Gardens, they are profound. In fact, I felt that the Amma Gardens was was probably, for me, one of the most special experiences beyond just the hike up the mountain. The peace, the love, the light that is at the Amma Gardens is profound. So some of you may follow Amma. She's the hugging saint of India. She's hugged over, I don't know, several million people by now. And she basically embodies the divine feminine. And so she actually came to Shasta, and they built this garden to her because she actually visited this woman's garden. And this actually is private land that belongs to a couple, and they are the ones that upkeep it. And so from the garden, you can see the mountain. It is the most incredible view. And she basically said that that was one of the most holy mountains on the planet. This is why she had, when she first came to the United States, that was one of the first visits, was to Mount Shasta because of the holiness of that mountain. So anyway, it's going to be a beautiful experience on Sunday, a much more kind of internal, prayerful experience on Sunday. And then some of you will fly out or drive, or you may want to stay a couple of days and do other things there. So know that, you know, we're not going to be, it's not going to be some long drawn out thing. We're going to go in, do our fun stuff, have some powerful shifts, and then all the integration is going to happen when you get home. So we'll be doing probably another call afterwards just to see where everybody's at after we get back from Shasta. So just know that's going to be part of the experience. So that's kind of like a quick little rundown. Like I said, all of the details, those who register, you'll get all the rest of that. But I just want to open up the lines for any questions people have. So if you have never been on Zoom, you'll see a little microphone, and it'll probably have a red slash through it. So if you want to speak or ask a question or share something or have something that you want to share concerning the experience we just did, just click on that little microphone. It'll take the little slash off and you can speak and we can hear you. I know, see, Kimberly's on, like we can see Kimberly, but everybody else, we can't see you. All we have is either your phone number. So we don't know who you are. So you're just going to have to, when you open your line, just say hi and your name so that we know how to address you. So does anybody have any questions or any particular thing they want to share about the past life experience that we just went through? Just go ahead and unmute yourself. Or if you have any other questions. For Shelley or myself.
Do you need to unmute the people that are on the phone for them? Or do they know how to unmute a phone line?
I don't know. Let's see here. Let me just unmute everybody. I'm just going to see if I can do that right now. And then if you don't want to be unmuted, you can actually, if you're on the phone, you can actually mute your own phone. So I'm just going to unmute on my end over here. That way we have, that way we can hear you. And then those who want to be muted, just mute your phone. So anyway, anybody have questions?
Hi, this is Dace. Can you hear me?
I sure can. I can hear the birds.
Oh, I'm on my patio. I would like show myself, but I don't know how. I'm sorry. And now I'm so like relaxed from that wonderful thing Shelley did to us. Wow. Thank you, Shelley. That was amazing.
You're welcome.
Oh, that felt really, really good. And I got a lot of insights from it. That was exciting. But I do have some questions about the trip. Two, I think that I can think of. One is how many women will be participating, and another is where do you sleep?
So
Is,
everybody,
is lodging part of it, or is it like camping out?
everybody gets to decide what they want to do. So basically, you figure out your own flights. As long as you get there by Thursday at 6 for the meet and greet, you can stay in an Airbnb, you can camp, you can do whatever and however you want to do that. So that everybody basically, you can either spend as much as you want or as little as you want. So we're kind of I'm leaving that open for people to figure out what they want to do with that. There's a lot of Airbnbs that are around Shasta, including the little towns outside of Shasta. So I'm going to be staying like in a little place, an Airbnb that's in Dunsmuir, which is about 30 minutes from Shasta. There's little hotels, there's cabins, there's all kinds of places where you could stay, including if you wanted to camp. I'm not a camping person per se, so you would have to jump online and look up camping at Mount Shasta if you wanted to do a camping thing. It's fine too. I have right now we're having it open for women. So we're making this, intimate and small. So there's space open for 6 right now. So that's the number I'm capping it at.
Okay. Well, that sounds wonderful. Great. All right. I guess because I've never been there and I wanted to go, and I guess when you were saying we'll hike to this, and then it just kind of sounded like, and then the next day we'll keep going, so that's why I thought, oh, we hike to somewhere and then stay there. That's what it was sounding like to me. Okay.
Go have something to eat, and, have a nice sleep for the next day. So yeah, so everybody's going to have, decide wherever they stay. I mean, I'm encouraging people to bring a friend, so
that sounds like a good idea.
Share, so I'm actually bringing my daughter. So it's going to be kind of a bit of a mother-daughter thing. And I'm encouraging, if you are a woman with a daughter who's 13 or older, then I would really love for you to bring her, have that experience with your daughter. That would be really beautiful. My daughter's birthday is actually on June the 27th. So this is kind of like a birthday gift for her because she'll be 15. And so it's like, this is the age when I said, okay, this is when she'll be old enough that she can really actually start traveling with me. And so, so I'm excited about this kind of little birthday experience of inviting her to travel with me for some of these types of experiences. So if you want to bring a friend, I'm encouraging that for sure. And like I said, Shasta's small. It's not some, the drives, like for instance, if you fly into Redding's about 30 or so minutes. Hey, we can see you, Dave.
I figured it out. It wasn't even that hard. Hi.
Hey. So,
hey.
So Redding is if you wanted to fly in, you can have a flight from Austin to Redding, which is in California. It's a small little place in California, and it's about, is that right, Shelley? It's about 30 minutes from Shasta, because you live in California.
Probably. You could also fly into Ashland, Oregon, and drive down, which is a little bit further, but
you can fly into Medford. Okay, so I've done it before, and it's about an hour and a half to get into Shasta from Medford. The drives are beautiful. So, I've actually driven from, the first time I went to Shasta, I flew into Sacramento and drove 4 hours from Sacramento to Shasta. And that drive was stupendous. I mean, wow. That was probably one of the most beautiful drives I've ever experienced in my life. So if you want to do a road trip with friends, that would also be a good thing. So what I'm doing is I'm making this an experience. Get there however you want to get there, stay where you want to stay. We'll have our meet places to meet, which will be basically on the mountain. And it's easy. It's like I said, it's small, so it's easy to get there. It's not difficult, to find where we're going to meet. There's only a couple of restaurants in the whole little town. So if I mention a restaurant, it'll be pretty easy to find because there's only a couple of them. So it's not going to be difficult when it comes to travel, and trying to find everything. It's pretty easy. So.
Okay. Thank you for answering the questions.
Yes. So if you have other questions, let me know. Anybody else have any questions or anything about the experience you want to share or ask about?
Or is it just Kimberly and me and you two? Are there other people on the call?
There's two other people on the phone.
Oh, okay. I just didn't want to like.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay, this is Tina, so I just didn't want to jump in until other people had a chance. So.
Okay, hi Tina.
Hi, honey.
You went to Shasta last year. You had a great experience.
It was amazing. It's just, I'm still not sure, but I was curious. So I appreciate being on the call.
Absolutely.
So, but it's definitely worth seeing and being there.
Yeah. I think that I had amazing experiences that after coming back that I know were very linked to some profound experiences I had on the mountain. And from the moment I left, I asked to go, and you're coming back next year. And I'm like, okay.
I made that same agreement. That's why I'm like, so I'm hoping to see how it unfurls in the next week or so. So
since it's going to be a small group, we're all going to know each other. So if everybody wants to get together and figure out how to room together and all of that, that's going to be pretty easy to do since we're going to be a small group. So as soon as we know who all's going, we're all going to get together on a private Zoom call and talk about that. So we just have to know who's going first. So if that is something that you're interested in doing, that's going to be easy to do. People can group themselves together and find places to stay. There's these cute little cabins that are in Dunsmuir that have been around since the 1960s or something that I was looking at that are really cool. Very, very rustic but beautiful, right there on the river. That are beautiful, and they're pretty reasonable. So now's the time to start kind of looking for things. Shelley, are there other places like around Shasta that you know of besides Shasta?
I looked at the cabins in Dunsmuir. I haven't made a reservation yet because I invited a couple other people to come, and everyone's trying to decide what they're doing.
Exactly. Everybody's like trying to figure out I told the mountain, I said, Shasta, pick your people.
Right.
So that they can make the decisions.
So I did look at those. They were pretty, there was one gal here that wants to go, but she has a 4-month-old baby. So she was thinking if her husband and her son went, she could participate.
Yeah.
With us, that they could stay there, and so we had talked about those cabins because they are, if you weren't participating in the hikes and stuff, I haven't stayed in them, but they've been, so they're still pretty rustic by my standards. I am not a camper. But they have, bedrooms and kitchenettes and running water and full bathrooms. So, I guess if you're a camper, they're not very rustic at all, but they're in a nice location and they were really inexpensive. There are some bigger, hotel resort places in that area, but they would tend to be pricier. And then there was a lot on Airbnb. So it just kind of depends what you're looking for, I think.
Exactly. And then also there's Stewart Mineral Springs. I've stayed there because the year before I went to another retreat that they hosted at Stewart Mineral Springs. So that would be another one you want to look up. They have they have rooms with twin beds you can share with a roommate. They're pretty reasonable as far as pricing goes, and it's actually a spring, and it's a spa, so you can go and get all spa'd up, but it's a rustic spa. It's not like a fancy spa. So it's right there about 30 minutes from Shasta.
It's not the spa at the Ritz.
Right, not the spa. This is
natural spa.
Yes, very beautiful natural spa. So it's just everything's going to be very nature. So we're going to be very close to nature for this experience.
Well, this is the first I've heard about it. I just happened to be checking my email. I don't know if you've put out other emails, and I was like, oh, this call is happening right now. So I think it sounds great. I've wanted to go to Mount Shasta for a long time. And it's interesting that there's this is now the third thing that I'm seeing that's during the same time, which June 27th is my anniversary. So it's Asha's birthday and my anniversary. But it's okay. I mean, we've been married a long time, so I don't have to spend it with him. So anyhow, I'm going to, feel into it a little bit, but I love that it's small and intimate, and I love that it's easy to get around. And for me, it's a little bit of a goal of mine to overcome my fear of flying. I mean, I've flown a lot, but I recently realized that I have a little bit of a fear because when we traveled, to Asia, we were like on 9 flights in like a month. Yeah. And it just kept happening so frequently that I was like, wow, I got to handle this. So last year, my son and I went together to Portland and Seattle. And then I could foresee, I said, I'm going to be taking trips by myself in the near future. Yeah. And so, so that now it's Mount Shasta. And then another thing I was being called to was also in Washington.
Oh, wow.
Over the same days. Yeah. So.
Well, it's wonderful that we have Shelley here.
Is it in Washington? I don't know. Is it in California? Where is it?
Help you with the whole fear of flights thing, because it could be a past life thing. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that you can set an intention for and say, we're letting that one go. Oh, and look who Shelley has. This is a special guest. Shelley, do you want to introduce our special guest actually on the trip with us?
So this is Callie. So no healing circle in my house is complete without her doing a meet and greet with everyone before and after.
And she is a certified emotional healing animal. So she actually does energy healing work with people. And so I'm so thrilled to have our extra practitioner with us who is going to be doing some deep healing with us on this trip. So I'm very excited.
She'll go up the mountain with us, although she'll probably go up the mountain on the back, on my back instead of on her 4 legs. But
lucky her.
Lucky her, right?
Exactly. We're all going to want to get in your backpack, Shelley.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Exactly.
I'll share the backpack though if you'd like to carry it.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh. Yeah, I bet everyone would like to carry the cat.
Exactly. Aw. Well, does anybody have any other questions or about the experience, the past life experience Shelley walked us through? Kimberly, I think you missed that. Did you have any questions about past life regression that you wanted to ask Shelley? If you want to unmute if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself, and then Shelley can answer any questions since I know you had to jump on late. And you can always, I'm recording this, so you can always go back and listen to the recording and be walked through the entire process of the regression. It was actually really powerful. I had a pretty interesting experience that showed up for me. I was like, wow, look at that.
Short and sweet doesn't mean you don't go deep.
Oh yeah, exactly.
True, so true.
Yeah.
All right.
There's any other questions or anything that anybody wants to share about the experience, or any other anything else you want to ask Shelley about her work?
What was the word, like kind of what we were supposed to, like how do we interpret the word that we got?
So the word, generally speaking, is a message for you. So depending what the word is, you know, hopefully based on the word, you would know how it fits. So whether it's a message in terms of what you're releasing, or just a reminder that, you're supported, or, I mean.
Okay, got it. Mine fit really well.
Okay, yeah.
I got two simultaneous. You said get the piece of paper, and I saw a butterfly on it. So I saw the image. Aww. And then when you said pick a word, I heard fly and fun, like at the same time.
Oh,
nice.
Mm-hmm. So that's kind of like pretty self-explanatory.
Depending on the person and how you receive messages, it's going to be different. I had someone that I said, "What's in your letter?" and he read me like an entire printed form letter.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, okay then.
That's amazing.
So, a word, an image, it's about, part of it's about how we receive messages.
Yes.
Right.
and how it, you know, how it resonates for you. I mean, a butterfly is beautiful, right? Transformation, change, that certainly will happen with Shasta, and it happens with any type of clearing work that you do.
Right.
Where is she going?
Kimberly, did you have a question?
I'm just trying to get back on for just a second. I'm so sorry. I accidentally pushed the wrong button. Can you still hear me? Because I don't know where you're at. I'm looking at my phone going, I don't know where you're at, but you're still there somehow. Anyway, yeah, don't you love technology?
I know.
First of all, miss you, beautiful souls. And then, so I knew I was hopping on late, so I apologize for that, but I'll listen to the replay. I was trying to get the dates, honey.
Okay, so the
That's
date
what I was trying to figure out.
27th, which is a Thursday. We're going to meet at 6 p.m. at a restaurant in Shasta. Saturday.
I didn't have a month.
Say it again.
Month and date. 27?
June the 27th to June.
Oh,
So it's at the end of the month.
end of the month. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's what I have to figure out then. All right. Well, it sounds awesome, and I can't wait to hear the replay, and I just wanted to say hello and send you love.
Oh, it's so great that you're on the call. But yeah, definitely go back and listen to the recording.
I will.
Regression that she walked us through was actually, it's short, but it was powerful. And I'll just.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, I'm loving the feather.
Oh, you remember that, don't you?
I sure do. That was an awesome day.
That was an awesome day. You were there when I got that feather.
Well, both of you look radiantly beautiful, and I miss you terribly. And let me look at my calendar and see if I can make it work. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, as soon as we know who all's going, we're going to have a little group powwow on Zoom, and people can work out, like, if they want to be roomies or whatever, however they want to do that. So just know that, and you know, as I see things pop up that I think would be great places to stay, I can email them to everybody who's going so that y'all can check those places out. But
all right, cool.
Airbnb is great. We found some cool little cabins and places like that where you can get some pretty reasonable prices for things.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much again, and I will listen to the replay tonight or when you reload it. Okay.
Perfect. Well, does anybody else have any questions? I can share what I had, what I experienced, Shelley, on the journey. If anybody doesn't have any other questions, I'll share what I got.
Let's hear it. I'll share mine after you.
So it was funny because here we are on the beach, and I'm like, oh, I don't like sand, but okay. But I like the beach and the wind and all that. So that was really nice. And I got all relaxed. And then she takes it immediately. I see myself getting off of a black carriage, and I'm wearing all black. And I have one of those hats that comes around, and then it's tied down here, and it's this very fitted, almost Victorian dress, but it's solid blacks. I remember looking at my shoes to see whether they'd gotten dirty as I got into the carriage. And then I walked into this building. So it could have been, I don't know, it feels like it would have been, because obviously it's before cars, so it would have been the 1800s somewhere, and it felt like maybe Austria. For some reason, that was the word that came up when I said, where is this? Austria. So, and because it sounded almost German, but it wasn't German. And I go into this building, and I go into this office, and I'm talking to this man, and he's apparently a banker. And so he is basically saying that I only have a year's worth of money left, and that I need to figure it out. And here I am. So clearly I'm a widower because I'm dressed all in black. So apparently my husband had died. And so this was all that was left, and I had 1 year left. And I remember once he told me that, I had this bit of an attitude of like, well, I guess I need to find a new man. That was the thought that went through my head in the scene. Like, it's time to find a new husband. I have 1 year to do that. Because, back at that time, I mean, that was kind of like the thing to do. And so then, so that was kind of like the scene that occurred there. And then whenever we came back to the beach area, the word that I saw on the piece of paper was love.
Oh, very cool.
So it's like, interesting.
So love or money, is that the question?
Apparently. Wow. Yeah. And this theme of I can either have money or love, but not both, that has been an interesting theme in my life. So I think this is very key. This is the key thing for me that I need to kind of dive deeper with, do some deeper clearing on. Because why does it have to be one or the other? And why does death have to be involved?
I won't make you go back to the beach next time, I promise.
Isn't it funny, the sand?
Yeah.
And I love sand in my toes. That's so funny.
I know. I don't mind
I
wet.
love sand in my toes too.
Yeah, I don't mind wet sand. It's the dry sand that gets everywhere that drives me nuts. It's just that
That's funny.
drives me crazy. Anyway, so Tina, did you want to share what your journey was?
Yeah, I saw myself as like a man in his 30s on the beach, like in like normal dress, and then all of a sudden I was, it looked like a nobleman in Italy who, I couldn't quite get the whole story, but there was something like I had money then. I was responsible for the community or that place I lived. And there was some contract I felt where I didn't know if it was a spiritual contract. I was asking the question. I think it was a spiritual contract where I didn't know what it was like to live without wealth, to be like a worker in the world. And so I think in this life, I've had this experience of really knowing down and dirty what it's like to do very basic things, like learning how to do things for myself, like doing some plumbing, that kind of stuff, nothing major, but still. And so what the contract was, I was hearing from my guy that paid in full was one phrase. And I think that meant that whatever agreement I had to have this experience is paid in full, so that's done. But it's also, I'm opening to being paid in full in other ways now.
Nice.
Like it opened up that door. And then the other word was freedom, and the freedom of that. So that's what I got.
Wow.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Wow. That's great. Anybody have any other insights or sharings before we close our call for today? Shelly, is there anything anything more you want to share about past life regression, or things that, because I know that we can actually do our own past life regression as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can.
Absolutely. So it just, it really depends where you are in terms of your journey, your ability to meditate, your ability to trust yourself to go there and go on, take that journey on your own, right? So for a lot of people, if you've not meditated a lot and you've not had those experiences, it's much harder to go there because you're questioning yourself, and it's easier to just follow the guided prompts. The journey we go on in Shasta has not been completely revealed yet, but it is going to be connected to the mountains.
Yes.
I've learned, like, I always take people to a single space when I do this in a group environment. So like we all went to the beach, and that's probably my bias because I'm a beach person. But if I'm
a beach person too, by the way. So thank you, because I've been on all these mountains lately and I've been appreciating the beach.
Well, I had a large group of about 15 people do this one time, and I said, go to your favorite place. I had to hold so much space just to get people in places, because one person was at the beach, one was at the mountains, one was like on a boat floating down the river, and it was like, so for me, it's very distracting if I have a large group and people are in too many places. to be able to create that container to hold that space.
That makes sense.
So if this wasn't your ideal setting, then that's the advantage of doing this one-on-one, is that you really can create that container, and you can go deeper, because typically if I do this individually, I'm asking you questions, right? So, like Linda, you're talking about being with the banker, and okay, who is the banker? Is the banker someone you know in this life? Like, do they remind you of anyone?
Got it. Yeah.
And so there's right. So you can go back. I mean, and so the same for everyone's experience. Whoever you came in contact with, what is the context of that person? It might be nothing. Some people are just people that are in the scene, right? Exactly. But sometimes it's like, oh well, this is my, I don't know, this is a business partner, but gosh, it reminds me an awful lot of my husband in this life, right? Or whatever those relationships are. So when you're doing this, when you're working individually with someone, you can just get so much more depth of the experience.
Yes.
Because it's like anything we do. It's like editing your own work, right? You can only do so much. You need someone else to look at it.
Exactly.
So my belief is that everyone still had a significant message for what we're doing, because we were both holding a lot of space for that to happen tonight.
Yes.
But at the same time, just understand the depth of where you can go with this and what you can do with it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to tune in real quick as a closing. I called in the energy of Mount Shasta earlier to be here with us, so that those that know they're being called will know. It'll just be a knowing in you. And interestingly, all evening I've been holding this really beautiful fluorite that's come in, that the energy of this wanted just to be here today. So the energy of fluorite is here with us. Also, what I'm wearing right now is actually it's a serpentine from Mount Shasta. And this particular energy of the stone is associated with Archangel Raziel. And what's so significant about that is Archangel Raziel is my main guide. I had no idea that his stone is serpentine Mount Shasta serpentine. So when I was at Mount Shasta and I found this, I was like, what? So anyway, so it wanted to be worn today. So lots of Shasta energy all around. So I'm just going to tune in right now. And we're just going to call in this beautiful energy of Mount Shasta to bless each of you. If there's any particular messages for you, any areas of your life that are in the process of wanting to be transformed,
I don't know how to get it off.
then we're just going to ask that, I'll put everybody on mute, no problem. Let me do that right now. So we're just asking right now, whatever you are needing, that this beautiful energy, the sacred energy of this mountain has for you tonight. We're just bringing that energy in. So we're invoking the powerful vortex energy of Mount Shasta, the sacred energy that is here. If you're being called to this particular experience, for you to know that in your heart and know that it's not some random thing if you're feeling called. And if you feel in your heart there's someone that needs to go with you, that you need to invite to come with you, we're just opening that energy up so that you can know who that person is. So just allow those awarenesses to pop up in your mind, so that those that you feel might be in right alignment for this, you can invite them to watch the replay if this is something that they're called to do. And of course, you can always send them to me or Shelly for more information. So just know that that is also available for those that you feel might be interested. We're just going to ask this beautiful energy of Mount Shasta to be here right now to assist you in some area of your life that really needs a blessing. So the vortex energy of Mount Shasta is very unique. It spins in both a clockwise and a counterclockwise direction, which creates two vortexes on top of each other, one going opposite the other. And it is one of the only, in fact, I think it may be the only mountain in the world that has this type of very powerful vortex. So I want you to visualize this vortex at the top of the mountain going in one direction and the vortex at the bottom of the mountain going in an opposite direction. And it's creating this incredible energy right in the center. So I want you just to imagine that as best you can. or feel the energy of that powerful vortex. And we're just going to allow this beautiful energy to clear for you right here, right now, anything that may have come up in this journey that Shelley just walked us through. Anything in that journey from a past life, maybe it's connected to generational patterns for you. Maybe it is connected in some way to some ancestral karma that needs to clear. And I want you to imagine that you're allowing that whole story and all of whatever that was to be taken into the vortex of Mount Shasta, to be transmuted and transformed back into light, so that you can be clean and clear, free right here, right now in this moment, from whatever has kept you bound in some way to a pattern or a way of being that just doesn't serve anymore, that has blocked your abundance. That was the theme we had tonight. Or any other thing in your life that has been blocked. Maybe fully experiencing life more has been blocked. Maybe your opportunities to experience a deeper joy have been blocked. Maybe you've never really had the experience of bliss. So we want to invite in these new energies that may have been blocked from these past life experiences that just don't serve you any longer. So we're just letting this beautiful vortex energy of Mount Shasta, just allow it to just transmute and transform whatever that old story was that you're holding in your DNA or in the cells of your body. You're just going to let it transmute. I just keep seeing these beautiful swirls of these two vortexes moving in opposite directions and just creating this powerful transmutation energy. And we're just going to allow it to just transmute out with love, with grace, with light, with love. All of this old patterning, this old DNA imprint that doesn't serve any longer. And we do this with the highest grace. We ask only that which will serve you to be transmuted and transformed, receiving the lessons and releasing out the stories so that you're left with the clean, the clear, the pristine, the perfect divine soul light lesson, and you let everything else go. So if you've played a certain story over and over in your life that is very connected to the journey you went through, you can just cleanse it and clean it and know we're done. We've learned the lesson. Thank you. And we're transmuting it back into light. We just want to say thank you to this beautiful, powerful energy of Mount Shasta that is calling very specific souls to this experience. So if you feel it's you, really listen to that call, because it's here for something deep, a gift, a powerful gift that divine is wanting to give to you through this nature experience on Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta has a very unique energy that is unlike any other mountain in the world, because of these vortex energies that move in the directions that they move, which actually balances both the masculine and the feminine. They say one vortex is an energy of the feminine and the other vortex is the energy of the masculine. And so it is actually a balancing vortex that has equal masculine, feminine energy in it. So just know that there's power in being on or near this mountain. So we want to invite the souls that are supposed to be part of this experience, please come forward to allow that beautiful transformation to happen and that everything fall in place easy. If you're feeling called, we're going to invite in a beautiful clearing energy so that you find an easy flight, so you can find an easy way to get there, so that you have the right divine roommate if you want a roommate, so that you have the right divine place to stay, right divine transportation, that everything work out for you. Because remember, this is about you experiencing life and trusting. So it's a trust and show up type of experience. How deeply can you trust the universe, divine, to create this whole experience for you in a way that is in alignment with your truth? How easily can you receive that and let that happen for you? So we're going to invite that in right now for you. So that if you are feeling called, we're going to invite in this powerful energy that's going to work it all out for you. You just have to stay in trust, say yes to the universe. The universe is going to say yes back. So if that is the right divine next step for you, just say yes in your heart and say, okay, universe, it's a yes. Start opening up the doors, start creating the easy ways for this to happen for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm going to seal all of this in love and light, saying thank you to the beautiful powers of Mount Shasta. Thank you to the beautiful gifts that Shelley brings to this experience. Thank you for the beautiful gifts that beautiful Kali brings to this experience as well, her sweet little healing dog. Thank you to all of your beautiful souls and the higher energy that's here, and to all those who will watch this replay later. Thank you for your energy and your presence and your time. And if you feel called, just know that you can just contact me directly through the email that you receive. Or if you already know Shelley, you can contact her directly concerning this experience. And know that right now we have an important special going on. So if this is something you want to do, definitely register before the 15th and you're going to get the lowest price possible. So that's all in the email. So with that, I'm going to seal everybody in so much love and so much light and say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. All right. Anything else coming up for you, Shelley, that you want to share?
I think you just called in a very beautiful energy, and so I'm excited to be with all of you guys on the mountaintop.
I know, it's going to be so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, thank you for being part of this wonderful experience. Well, everyone, I love you all. Mwah. And like I said, if you feel it's for you, great. Get in contact with me, or if you know Shelley, get in contact with her, and we will start putting the group together, and everybody can start connecting and deciding how it all is going to happen. And just know it's going to happen beautifully and easily. Well, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you so much, Shelley. Thank you to your sweet Callie for being part of our experience. Thank you to everybody who was on the call, and hopefully we will see you on the mountain.
Perfect.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.